All right. Well, it is Sunday morning. Good morning. Sunday morning, the 22nd of February, or excuse me, the 21st of February. And we start a new week this week. The subject matter or the category, for lack of a better term, I guess, is the turning point. The turning point. The lead into this week's writing is this. When we consider the temptations of Jesus, we see that they are all attempts to persuade him to follow the way of popular acclaim and to deflect him from the way of the cross. The same temptation to disobedience and compromise dogged his footsteps. It is this that explains Jesus' almost fierce command to people to keep silent about the miracles that they had seen. It was what is called the messianic secret. Jesus did not want people to know the fact of his messiahship until they were ready to grasp its nature. But this week we come to the significant occasion when Peter, for the first time, made an explicit statement, an explicit confession of Jesus as Messiah, and then came to grasp, after protest, the necessity of the cross. It was the turning point in Jesus' ministry. And so today's devotion is entitled Peter's Confession. The passage that is pointed to is in Matthew chapter 16, verses 13 through 20. Verses 15 and 16 are the lead-in to today's devotion. Who do you say I am? And Simon Peter answered, You are the Christ, the Son of the living God. The time had come for the disciples to make an unambiguous statement of their faith in Jesus as Messiah. So he took them with him to the far north, to the village of Caesarea Philippi on the foothills of Mount Hermon, and near the source of the river Jordan. Here, in privacy and solitude, he asked them two questions. To the first question about public opinion, they replied that people thought he was John the Baptist, Elijah, Jeremiah, or another prophet. To his second question about who they thought he was, Simon Peter, the leader and spokesman of the 12, blurted out, You are the Christ. According to Matthew, Peter added the Son of the living God, although probably using the title in its limited messianic sense. Then, as soon as Peter had borne witness to Jesus, Jesus bore witness to Peter. Firstly, Peter had come to his conviction not by human reasoning, but by a revelation from the Father. Secondly, Peter was in some sense the rock on which the Messiah would build his community, which would last forever. This is, of course, a controversial verse, but in making up our minds about it, we would be wise to remember that throughout the New Testament, Christ himself is the rock on which the church is built, and that the majority of early church fathers taught that the rock is the faith professed by Peter, not Peter professing the faith. Let me read that again just so we get it. Christ himself is the rock on which the church is built, and that the majority of early church fathers taught that the rock is the faith professed by Peter, not Peter professing the faith. Thirdly, Peter was given the keys of the kingdom, which he would later use, historically speaking, to admit first the Jews, then the Samaritans, and then the Gentiles into the kingdom of God. One more point. No sooner had Peter made his confession of faith than Jesus warned them not to tell anyone about him. Mark chapter 8, verse 30. We will learn tomorrow that this was the last time Jesus issued his command to silence and why. It's interesting when we think we know what Jesus is all about, and then we miss something. Of course, Peter is going to try and tell Jesus what to do in just a few verses from here, but the fact that he professes, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God," Peter's been shown that, and Jesus will say that my Father revealed this to you. But Peter made a lot of mistakes too when he just listened to his own opinion, and I think we can identify with that, can we not? We hear that a lot. People expressing their own opinion about who they think Jesus is, and we need to be careful about our opinions. Make sure we're repeating truth. We're repeating the words that God has shown us in the Word, not decisions we've come to. This is a turning point in the ministry of Jesus. He's taking his disciples deeper in understanding of things, and that is something we should all want. Not to just stick with our own opinion about the whole thing, but Jesus, what do you say? Father, what do you say about what is true and what is right, and where we should hang our hats of faith? Make sure we have a strong confession of faith, not just with our words, but with our lives. Have a blessed day today. For those of you who may be listening to this early, remember we have a guest speaker with us at church today. John and Leanne are coming down from Syracuse. They lead a ministry to street people, homeless people there in Syracuse, and they're going to share with us this morning. I hope you will be able to be there and share in that time with us. Blessings to you today as you worship the Lord.